What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, reviewing today Fallout 4. War never changes. These opening words may be true, but gaming has changed a lot in the 7 years since the explosive release of Fallout 3. This game is based on the foundation that everyone has a story worth telling. A man searching the wastelands for his child is just as important as a robot struggling to figure out what it means to be alive. These tales are just as important as a den of smugglers trying to survive a harsh night with limited ammo. After creating your character, it's your turn to set out and make a story of your own. Boston was a lovely city, that is until the nukes dropped. Waking up from 200 years of cryosleep, our hero must now find his own place in this hostile new world. The first few hours of this game are all about dying and learning the laws of the land. This is an ecosystem that has survived 2 centuries of radiation. At this point, even the rats can kill you. Once you've gained a few levels, done a few early quests, and gotten a decent gun in your hands, the game completely opens up. All the essential features that made Fallout 3 great have been subtly improved. Gunplay works a little bit more like a normal first-person shooter now. You can aim down the sights for better accuracy, or spend talent points to up your ability to fire from the hip. Small changes that make every fight a little faster, but staying alive requires more than just a pile of bullets. The awesome VAT system also comes back. Activating this dramatically slows down time, giving you precious seconds to line up your next few attacks. For an enemy like a charging ghoul, this can mean the difference between shooting them in the leg so you can get away, or selecting that hard-to-hit headshot for a brain-splattering victory. This system of precision sniping is a must when you're going against the new legendary enemies sprinkled throughout the land, or when you get surprised by a huge, unexpected foe. At one point, I was wandering in this creepy park at night, looking at some skeletons in the green glow of my Pit-Boy, only to wake up a napping Alpha Deathclaw. What followed was me getting utterly torn apart piece by piece. For extra dangerous encounters like this, you need to bust out the big weapons and heavy gear. Lucky for us, we now have our very own set of power armor. Wearing this fancy exoskeleton acts like an additional health bar. Each part of your body can take tons of damage before breaking down and needing to be repaired. Inside this suit, you can also punch harder, be far more resistant to radiation, and even walk at the bottom of lakes if you want to. Every moment that you wear this super armor, though, does have a precious cost. Special nuclear energy cores need to be gathered in order to keep this suit moving. Consider this fuel for your Master Chief style outfit. While you can't wear it all the time, the power armor is fantastic for situations like this Alpha Deathclaw. Now that I've got a layer of steel skin between me and him, I'm ready to use my minigun to score some extra experience points. Fixing yourself up after tough fights is easy, and it brings us to the most massive new change to Fallout 4. You can now customize pretty much anything. Using the crafting system, you can now take your favorite weapons and tinker with them to create the ultimate killing machine. For this playthrough, I wanted to specialize in using old school handguns, kinda like an old western movie. Every time I gained a level, I used my perk points to further upgrade my ability to use these pistols. Heading back to my main base, I was able to use the workbench I had there to add scopes, grips, and even change the barrel and make my awesome handgun even more powerful. Doing these custom reworks requires materials found throughout the world. Steel, screws, duct tape, and more need to be stockpiled in order to do the best upgrades to your clothes and equipment. Along with adding to your arsenal, you can use these new crafting tools to make a base of operations where you and other survivors can live and build a new life. It's possible to use raw supplies to make houses, shops, and even link your new village with other towns for trading. All of this works great, but I think it's a bit overwhelming to new players. There's no clear tutorial that explains how best to establish a town, or even how to make some much needed customizations on your gear to help in combat. Figuring all this out can take hours, and while I appreciate the complexity of this, I think most gamers are probably going to pass it by and stick with the action. The questing is just so good that even if you wanted to skip all the collecting, you're still going to have a great time. Bethesda learned a lot while making Skyrim, and their storytelling skills are even better than in previous games. Wandering into a city opens up a living tapestry of intertwined story threads. For example, one of the first major cities you go to is called Diamond City, and every square inch of this town is filled with things to do. You can join forces with the newspaper and investigate the mayor for corruption. You can help a kid down by the docks fish skulls out of the water supply. Heck, it's possible just to sit at the diner and watch the drama of the town unfold in the streets. In my 50 hours with the game so far, the sense of wonder and discovery never faded. Even when you think you're on the very edge of the map and can't possibly find anything else, you're gonna stumble upon another little secret. Like one time, I was creeping out of this deserted factory and I was shocked to see a giant airship crossing the skies directly above me. It was just such an amazing sight that left me in awe. I wanted nothing more than to chase it down and figure out what it meant. On the downside, scale of this size does have a price. The graphics are extremely poor for a next-gen title. Animations are copy and pasted from previous games, so much of this seems like Fallout 3.5. It's odd to see such a marvelous story being told in such a primitive engine. Glitches also have a bad habit of popping up at the worst times. A tense boss fight can have its moment ruined if you get suddenly stuck in a wall, or occasionally you'll have a quest marker glitch out and say that it's a million miles away. Since it autosaves every few minutes, anytime I ran into a problem, I could easily just rewind the game 10 minutes and redo whatever fun segment I got glitched out in. It's easy to look past Fallout 4's shortcomings and see that this is undeniably a new benchmark in epic gaming. Okay, so we've heard some good and some bad, but let's head to the ratings board and put a big number on it. I am giving Fallout 4 a 9 out of 10. If you're craving some big adventure in a giant sandbox that lets you be the hero, I highly recommend this game to anyone and everyone, even at a full $60. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. This has been DreamcastGuy with another review. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.